Packaging a book in Adobe InDesign. Let's start by pre-flighting the book. This is the folder that contains my book and all the files. Remember, an open book in InDesign appears as a panel. I'll double-click each document to open that specific InDesign file. Notice there's an error on this file that it's missing a link. I will leave that for now. We'll address that later. Now let's pre-flight this book by using the drop-down menu in the upper right corner. I'm going to select Pre-Flight Book. When I do that, the Pre-Flight Book options appears, and I want to make sure that I select Entire Book. And then I'll click Pre-Flight. You'll see in my book panel here, I have some errors indicated during this pre-flight process, and those errors are indicated with a red circle. To view those errors, I need to open up my pre-flight panel, and that can be found under Window, Output, and Pre-Flight. Viewing my pre-flight panel side by side with my book panel, I'll be able to view the errors. Now note that I only see the errors on the document that is open. So Recipe 1 does have an error. Let's make sure that that's the visible document in the background here. And when I do that, you can see one error is found, and it happens to be a link. This was the error we saw earlier. So I do have a missing link, meaning my picture has been linked, it is not embedded. The linked file is missing, and it tells me how to correct that. I can navigate to my Links panel and choose the Relink button. Let's do that quick. Links, I see the error right there. I double-click, and it will probably ask me for the location of where this specific image is located. Once I find it and click OK, my error disappears. Recipe 1, 2, and 3 appear to be okay. My index also has an error. Again, we need to make that index file visible. And you can see the one error relates to text. In this case, there's one problem with my text frame, and if I read in the info section, it states that I have a resize issue, that all my text is not fitting within the frame. I'm going to leave this error because as we package and move through the process, I want you to see how that is indicated. So we'll leave that error, not worried about it right now. And now let's export. So we can export the selected documents to PDF. In order to do that with a book, you do need to select all of the documents within that book. You can either click each one individually, holding Shift, or hold Shift, click the top, click the last, and all of them will be selected. Now navigate to that menu again and choose Package Book. Notice the first time it said Package Document. We're packaging the book. You can package it for print or to PDF. Print will be a higher quality. Let's select PDF, navigate to where you want to save this, give it the correct name, and click Save. I'm choosing the PDF Interactive because that is a lower resolution, which will give me a smaller file size. You can just navigate through the options here in the Export to Interactive PDF. One of the things that does happen is that our images are compressed at a lower resolution, and that helps control that file size. So if everything looks okay, we'll go ahead and export. Here's that warning message once again. So that was the error I saw initially. It does remind me that there is overset text, meaning text not all fitting within the box. So I just wanted to show you that's what will happen if you keep those errors. And so now I have a PDF saved on my hard drive. Viewing my PDF allows me to see all of the documents that were part of my book now as individual pages in my PDF. You can see the table of contents, each of the recipes, and my index. Let's transition now into packaging this book. We want to package the book for print. So again, I need to make sure that all of my documents within my book are selected before I do this. I will get a package dialog box. In this dialog box, I'll have some options. I'll see information regarding my links and images, my colors. I do want to make sure that I create printing instructions, so make sure that is checked. I do have information on my fonts, including those that are protected. So there are copyrights on those. Here are my images, so I can note whether they have been embedded or if they're linked. Again, colors, I'm using process color here. Any specifics on my print settings. And then external plugin use. So back up to summary, make sure it all looks okay. Make sure you have the check printing instructions. And here's the information for those printing instructions. So you can specify the file name. It does become a text document. Place your contact information in the print instructions box here. So your name, contact, your company, address, phone, fax, email, any specific instructions that should accompany this file. So make sure you give enough information for the printer to connect with you. Go ahead and click continue once you have that information. And again, it will ask me where I want to save this package. It is a complete package. It'll be a folder with many documents inside. Click package when you have it in the right location. I do have a warning come up on this package stating that I am using fonts that have copyrights. So it does go through copyright law a bit. Be aware of that. Again, my error that I had on my index document of the overset text. So I see that error again coming back to remind me. Once it has completed the package, I can view the folder where everything is located. So in the folder, I see my original InDesign book. I see the PDF, so a package does create a PDF. I see document fonts. These are the fonts that are included in my files that are part of this book. I see each document, so my index, my recipes, and my table of contents. So it does bring together all of those InDesign documents. I have my links. These are the 2 images that I do have included in all of the documents within my book. And here are my printing instructions. So this is what I was setting up with those fill in the blank. So it has my contact information, email address, and any special instructions or other notes that the printer should be aware of. It talks about the font's total number being used, how many of them have copyrights or are protected. It shows my process inks. I'm not using any spot inks here. Also any linked images. So these are the visual assets. Print settings, the entire file package list. These are all of them, the documents that I have in this package, in this folder. So this is really a nice report. This is an Adobe InDesign Printing Instructions for Service Provider report. This goes to your printer. So just to review, this is the folder that I receive once I have packaged my InDesign book, including all of those InDesign documents. Everything from this book that was originally created.